The national championship rarely disappoints, but that was especially true this year. Number one, Indiana Hoosiers looking to win its first ever national title with Heisman quarterback Fernando Mendoza, Curt Cignetti, in year two of his reign at IU, looking to complete a 16-0 season for the first time since 1894 when the Yale Bulldogs did it. I had to look it up. That was 3 years before Indiana even played a single football game. That's how long ago we're talking. The only thing that stood in the way of IU was the U, Miami University, trying to get back to the top of college football. With Mario Cristobal, who played for the Hurricanes in the Golden Age, he brought in a transfer quarterback from Georgia by the name of Carson Beck to win this game. One of the winningest quarterbacks in all of college football. He had the task of winning the big one. Oh, and by the way, this game was played in Hard Rock Stadium, in Miami's backyard, where the Hurricanes play all of their regular season games. So the Hoosiers had to go down there and see if they could pull off one of the greatest seasons and greatest victories of college football history. Let's head down to Hard Rock Stadium, where we get a good look at Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman quarterback, warming up, going up against a team that didn't recruit him, even though he's from the area. Defense was all over the place in this game. Aiden Fisher getting home to Carson Beck. Again, no Stephen Daly in this entire playoff push, and guys like Fisher showed up. Now Indiana trying to get its first touchdown, and it's the big man, Riley Nowakowski, stumbling into the end zone. Gives Indiana a 10-0 lead, trying to go into the half that way. Miami with a chance to get a field goal with Carter Davis, and oh, a doink. Oh no, well hey, Carter Davis, one is better than two doinks. I guess that's the only good news. Early third quarter, Miami in desperate need of some momentum. No one better than Mark Fletcher Jr. to find a hole, breaking away down the near sideline, 57 yards to the house. All of a sudden, that Indiana lead not looking too safe. That was until this. Mikhail Kamara got a big old hand on the football, and Isaiah Jones falls on top of it. Again, defense was big in this game from start to finish, but Miami would not go away. Carson Beck fakes a pitch, handoff again. Fletcher Jr. right up the gut, waltzes into the end zone for 6 more. It's a 3-point ball game. Indiana in need of some cushion, and here's the Heisman doing the Heisman dance. Gets the first down, spins off a defender, dives into the end zone to give Indiana some cushion. The Mendozas celebrating. All of Hoosier Nation has that dive cemented in their brains for the rest of time. But again, Miami would not go away quietly. Malachi Toney this time, spinning off a couple Hoosiers, and he's into the end zone. Indiana would go down, kick a field goal, make it a 6-point game. Miami with a chance to win the ball game at the final second, and oh no, he threw it to the defense. Jamari Sharp, the Miami kid, gets the INT and sends the Hurricanes home packing. The Indiana Hoosiers, in year 2 of Curt Cignetti's tenure, wins the national championship 27-21, and one of the greatest seasons of all time is complete, and that trophy coming to Bloomington. When asked post-game about when things gear up for year 3, Curt Cignetti smiled, thought to himself for a second, said he was going to go down to some hot island down south, give himself about a week to rest, recoup after this unbelievable stretch of football, and then it was time to cut film and get right back to work. There's no break for Curt Cignetti, but hey, at least he's got that week to celebrate a national championship and a 16-0 season.
As Tucker DeVries inbounds it to Connor Enright, and the Indiana Hoosiers will take it from left to right to begin this second half. Enright immediately drives inside the far wing, has to kick it to DeVries, top of the key. Lamar Wilkerson lets go a right wing triple, leaves it short. Braden Smith gets the rebound for Purdue and takes it from right to left. The Boilers lead 46-29, just a couple seconds into the second half. And CJ Cox nearly gave it away, trying to pass it to Trey Kaufman-Renn, who wasn't looking. But the Boilers keep it alive. Kaufman-Renn now has it near block, kicks it to Lawyer on the near wing, right back to Kaufman-Renn. He spins to the hoop and gets a right-handed hook to fall. That's been working all game long.
Indiana does not have an answer for Kaufman-Renn on that block.
Kaufman-Renn now with 16 points. The Boilers lead 48-29, 1 minute into play. Tucker DeVries lets go a straightaway 3, and he connects. That's been big for the Hoosiers. Tucker DeVries, leading scorer for IU with 11. He's 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. 48-32, Purdue leads 60 seconds into the second half. From right to left, CJ Cox gets to the left elbow, lets a mid-range fly, and leaves it short. Connor Enright gets the rebound for IU and takes it across the timeline from left to right himself. He finds DeVries on the far wing, right back to Enright straight away, gets in the right lane, goes underneath the hoop, back to the free throw line, and kicks it to Wilkerson on the far wing. Wilkerson drives, got it stripped by Clough, and TKR falls on it. It's Purdue basketball. Lawyer will take it from right to left into the front court, thought about a three on the far wing, and instead the Boilermakers move it around the horn to Smith. Smith drives, kick out, straightaway triple. Lawyer connects. Fletcher Lawyer, 13 points, a perfect 4 for 4 from the field, and Purdue leads 51-32. From left to right, Alexis has it on the near block, out to Enright in the near corner. Enright thought about a baseline drive, got pushed out by TKR, and now enters it on that near block to Alexis. Back out Dorn, right wing three, rims out, and a rebound for Cox. The Boilermakers leading 51-32, just over 2 minutes into the second half. Braden Smith drives baseline, Lawyer again from the near corner, count it! Fletcher Lawyer unconscious to begin the second half. He's 4 for 4 from beyond the arc, 16 points against the Hoosiers here in Mackey. And the Purdue Boilermakers lead 54-32, just 2 minutes and 20 seconds into this second half. Coming out of the timeout, called by Indiana head coach Darren DeVries. The Boilermakers leading 54-32. Indiana looking for any kind of momentum here early in this second half to try to spark a second half comeback and sweep the season series against Purdue for the first time since the 2022-23 season. And Tucker DeVries is going to inbound it to Tayton Connerway, who will take it from left to right for the Indiana Hoosiers. Across the timeline, Connerway gets to the far wing, driving, doubled, finds Alexis on a cut, kicks it out to the near wing. Connor Enright didn't have anything, so he gives it up to Tucker DeVries straight away. DeVries drives, kick out, Connerway didn't like a three. He finds Enright straight away, and his triple is pure. Connor Enright, not necessarily known for his three-point shooting, only about 35% on the season, but he gets a big one to go there. That's his first basket, and not just this game, but he didn't score against Illinois over last weekend at all. It's 54-35 Purdue, 17 minutes left to play in the ball game. Straight away, Lawyer gets it to TKR on the near block as the Boilers move from right to left. TKR faces the hoop near the free throw line. His push shot rims out, but he does get fouled by Tucker DeVries, who gave him a little two-arm shove. And Trey Kaufman-Renn is going back to the free throw line for a fourth time tonight.
And it's a real difficult ask to ask Tucker DeVries to guard him one-on-one. Trey Kaufman-Renn, 6'9", 240. Tucker DeVries listed at 6'7", 225. So giving up about 2 inches and about 15 pounds. And Indiana has elected to not double Kaufman-Renn a lot for the better part of this game so far because, I mean, Purdue's shooting 6 of 9 from three. If you double, Purdue's knocking down their three-point shot, so it's just a real tough spot for DeVries.
First one rims out for TKR, and the second one does as well. Kaufman-Renn has missed 4 straight from the free throw line. It stays 54-35 Purdue. Neither team made a change. 16:45 left in the second half. From left to right, Connerway standing on the Purdue logo. Gets to the far wing. Connerway kicks it to the near wing where Enright drives to the free throw line. Back to Connerway, far side. His three, too strong. And Braden Smith gets the rebound for the Boilers. Smith in the front court from right to left. Gets to the near block and is pushed out by Connor Enright. Pick and roll game to the rack. TKR slams with 2 hands. Purdue's up 56-35, 4 minutes into the second half. From left to right, Alexis lets go a right elbow floater, leaves it short, and Clough gets the board for Purdue. Back from right to left, Braden Smith at the controls. Over the shoulder pass to TKR underneath. He's pushed out to the free throw line. Now back down low to the far block, and he gets a layup to go off the window. And that brings us to another timeout, under 16. Purdue leads 58-35 here in Mackey Arena, and the Hoosiers need to talk things over. We'll be right back at West Lafayette on 99.1 WIUX. Welcome back to Bart Kaufman Field. We got a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the third inning. Indiana and Washington facing each other for the first time ever as conference opponents. As TJ Schuyler, the catcher and 9-hole hitter, is going to lead off this inning. Schuyler, a 130 average. He's only played in 11 of 12 games for Indiana. 9 starts for him. This is his 10th. And he's ahead quickly against Noah Kenny. Kenny was shutting things down. He had a 3-up, 3-down inning in the bottom of the second. 3 strikeouts in a row, spanning the end of the first and the beginning of the second inning. But he's come out behind here against Schuyler. That one just clips the zone.
And that one was a high pitch, but ultimately Schuyler was never going to swing at that one, ahead 2-0 in the count. But what was so good about Kenny's performance in the second inning was his ability to get out ahead in those counts. He was very aggressive early in those counts and had very favorable pitchers counts. So he was more aggressive with the pitches, now down early in this one.
And he's worked it to a full count. Kenny did a good job getting it level. But Schuyler has been patient, really hasn't taken that bat off his shoulder. 3-2. Upstairs, ball 4, the first walk of the game for Indiana.
Well, getting Schuyler on first base for the Hoosiers, that is very important. Schuyler, obviously no hits so far this year for the catcher. He's more of a defensive player, one of the better players in the conference defensively from behind the dish. Getting on base early in this third inning, that could be important for the Hoosiers, as now it's the top of the batting order.
And it's Aiden Krause. Takes the ball upstairs.
Krause had that single to start the game. If he can also be aggressive with this count with a guy on first base, could mean good things coming for the Indiana Hoosiers.
This is Krause's first season in Bloomington. Transfer from Chandler Gilbert Community College, JUCO, where he had an over .330 career batting average. This guy's a stud. And he's trying to work his average now back up to 300, right around 290. High pop-up, still on the infield. It's Draper, who misses it. And that's still not going to work out too well for Indiana, because Schuyler was certain, I think as most people were here at Bart Kaufman Field, that that catch would be made. So it's really of no detriment to Washington, because still there's one out and still there's only one runner over on first.
Yeah, now Will Moore, the Canadian, will jog into the batter's box. But yeah, an interesting play there. Aiden Krause pops that one. Honestly, that ball was well above our field of view here. Difficult play, especially with the sun coming out for Draper there. But Washington is able to escape. Ultimately, nothing bad happened. And still, Kenny dealing right now for the Huskies, trying to get out to an early lead in the count.
And he blows one by Will Moore. Moore struck out looking his first time up to the plate. He's on a 2-game on-base streak, trying to extend that here in the Big Ten opener against Washington. As a check over is late to Krause. Moore only in his sophomore season, and still he's one of the more experienced players on this Indiana roster. He's had 50-plus career games in the Cream and Crimson. So there's a second check over that's late. And that just speaks volumes to the staff on this Indiana team. Very, very young. Trying to bring some firepower. Grows the season does. Runner goes, the pitch is high, the throw down. They got him.